Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of The Songs That Changed My Life. My name is Emma G. I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, author of My Life, My Songs, My Healing, and transformational youth coach using music and songwriting to help empower the lives of young people around the world. I'm joined tonight on a very I want to say ironic, I want to say special, I want to say surreal, I want to say powerful, all of the things tonight. The tension is high in my home. Well, I'm going to call DC my hometown now because it just kind of is. Where I live here in Washington, DC, tensions are high across the entire country. And, if you've not heard the news, wake the fuck up. There is a lot going on politically, humanitarianly, I should say, and people are. Things are changing, things are moving, and who better to speak those stories into existence, to recreate what the future is going to look like, to redefine what America looks like, breathes like, acts like, and dictates itself as, than musicians such as Anastasia Antoinette and Dior Ashley Brown, who are two phenomenal dynamic just powerful women who speak truth to music. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How about you, Anastasia?
I'm all over the place, honestly. I'm all over the place. I've been getting deeper in my spiritual practice, so trying to maintain the balance and tap in there when more strength and not carry on, but just the need to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
For sure.
That part. All of 2020. Digging deep. Hashtag.
Okay. Seriously, and like we're 7 days into 2021. We were, I don't know about you guys, but I spent New Year's Eve, watching church and praying that this new year would bring about some really positive, affirmative action. And a weekend, we here. How are you guys processing? Like, what are your hopes? What are your intentions for 2021? Both as not just as women of color, but also as artists, as creators, as songwriters.
Well, I think yesterday I felt a lot of anger. I felt a lot of sadness. I felt a lot of shame. I felt a lot of fear. I felt a lot of things. And at the end of the day, I talked to Dior and I talked to John, who's the producer on this song. And I told them ultimately, I just feel more purpose-filled in our mission. This is our mission and our intention. The revolution's in progress. Dior and her brand of more music for the movement, that's what this song is that we've created here together. And so while I will not ignore or tolerate that sort of thing to happen, because this is our country, this is all of our country, I will just, again, dig deeper in that purpose for 2021 and beyond to say, this message is important. We have to continue the conversation.
Yeah, we have to continue the conversation. Everything that Anastasia said, and I mean, our intention, I think, for this piece was to continue to spirit the movement, inspire others to create music that's telling our story, just like Nina Simone said, you know what I'm saying? Art should reflect the movement, the times. So, that I think that's a lot of our intention. And I think that we're all hopeful for 2021. I mean, no one wants to relive last year, you know what I'm saying? So I think the hope is that all good things, as deplorable, as disappointing, as saddening yesterday was, I think it was definitely an opportunity for a shift.
Yes.
And to witness the source in all of its parts.
Yes.
The source of the problem, that is a part of the cancer, because we definitely need to fight for our rights, but we all have to do it justly and with respect and without killing one another at minimum. So I really am hopeful of 2021, and I'm only putting positive thoughts forward. But I'm glad that with 2020 vision, a lot is coming from under the surface.
Right. Right. No, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. So talk to me about your song. And I say this like, as if the timing is kind of uncanny, but really it isn't, because we've all been witness to, we've all been part of, we've all felt and experienced how tumultuous and how just crazy the last 4 years have been living in this country, especially as Black women. So Dior, you've been writing music, fighting back forever. Anastasia, you've been doing the same thing. Both of you have very different ways of approaching the subject, which I'm really excited about, the fact that you guys have collaborated on this project. But what was it about this particular song? What motivated you into action for this particular song, Verses?
Anastasia, you guys speak to that. You guys.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, John and I are a songwriting production duo. He's the producer on this song. And this song actually started after him and I attended a protest about 2 days after George Floyd was murdered. John and I went to downtown LA. We moved to LA. We've been in community with both of these beautiful women in DC. For anybody who doesn't know, obviously y'all know. But John and I just moved to LA last year. So when George Floyd was murdered, we were like, we have to do something. We got to get in the streets. So we found the Black Lives Matter LA chapter, went downtown, met up with them. By the time we met up with them, they were like, we're about to get on the freeway and shut down the freeway. John and I were like, about to shut down the freeway? About to shut down the freeway. So we're standing front line on the freeway, stopping traffic. Like, there's not hundreds of people behind me. It's me and my bike. And so that adrenaline after we left and made that statement, we came home and made music like we always do. We make a lot of music together all the time. And I just keep saying it was like a stream of consciousness. And one of the reasons, which I think is important, even though it is kind of play on the Verses cultural thing that they're doing, Swiss Beats and Timbaland, I initially named the song Verses because I didn't have a hook. I didn't have a chorus. And so they're just verses. And I thought to myself, I have something to say. I'm sure there are other people that have things to say. I would love to get more voices on this, and just send me your verse. We're all artists and musicians, especially now in this digital age, send me your verse. You can just send me your verse. So my first thought was Dior Ashley Brown, my sister. I've been trying to collaborate with her for so long. And I just knew that she was going to bring the energy that this song needed. And so I reached out to her, and it came together like that, so beautifully, so divinely, yes.
So she sent the song right in the middle of like all of this pressure, all of this burning, okay?
Right. Literal burning. You
know how it was feeling for her in the West Coast, because we're in a sister chat. So she's telling us in the chat like how crazy it is. We're telling her like, yo, we're going down in the protest, what's going on, what DC's looking like. And what's interesting is that she's all the way to the West Coast, but it doesn't feel like she's missing an action at all. It doesn't feel like she's away from us. So it felt, especially with the movement, I think the movement brought us all together. And honestly, she sent it to me. And then I think the words didn't come for months later. I had been pushing a lot of different projects and working as far as more music for the movement, and busy with DC Music Summit, getting off the ground. And when she sent it to me, the words hadn't come yet. But when those words fell, I was like, Anastasia, I'm gonna record it right now. I'm gonna send it to you right now. So, but get this. So then I end up writing this verse, words fall out, record the thing, listen to it, because John sends us, the first mix. I'm like, it needs another verse. It's fire. And then, it just felt like I needed to add more. And then boom, I'm gonna tell you now, that one came within the next couple of hours, and that's how the spirit works. Anastasia is very spiritual as well. Her energy, I could feel it. It just all seemed to flow. John was connecting with us. He told me about their process at home, and it was like, you know what, this is the time. And it's honestly, and Anastasia brought this up the other day, it's a continuance of conversation. It wasn't supposed to die over the summer, that the reality that we have to preserve Black lives and prepare for this change and shift. That's what was it? Wednesday showed us.
Right.
Wednesday showed us that the conversation is not over. Slavery, racism, discrimination, all that is not over. It's a continuing conversation, and we need to eliminate it. We need to, like our sister Angela Davis said, eradicate it. It's got to go.
The least we can do is talk about it, is have the conversation. I think there are more actionable things that all of us on this call, I'm very confident that we're doing, but I feel like, people sometimes get caught up, or like some people might look at us like we're so revolutionary, and like, be bold enough to talk to your loved ones about it.
I want to riff off of that for a minute, Anastasia, because I think like a lot of, as you and I were talking about before we went live today, you've spent your entire life being a Black woman. I've only been Black really for 5 years since I moved to this country, because in New Zealand, where I grew up, it's like being a person of color is a completely different concept, right? So it intrigues me, because a lot of the conversations I'm having with all of my friends, no matter what race they are, everyone seems to be getting exhausted about what that conversation looks like. Do you think that is one of the reasons why you choose to make artivist music, is that it's sort of easier to kind of chew on? Or do they go hand in hand? Like, I'm curious.
I think the best way I can answer that is that I spent years trying to make political music and trying to make social music. I lived in DC for 10 years, and I never felt like I could make a song that was like a protest song, a freedom song, like Donald Trump, no Donald Trump, like racism, white supremacy, and anti-Blackness are playing in our faces every day. And so I felt this responsibility as a musician and an artist to be like, Anastasia, you got to write something, like, you got to talk about this. And again, even with the protests and with the after, effect of writing the song, I didn't sit down and say, let's write a protest song. It was spirit, right? It was this channeling of not me, I mean, yes, it was me, because I had a conversation with my mother before. I knew my mom was going to see the news. I know she knows her daughter. It was going to be like, are you down there? And I was down there. So I had to talk to her about, why I chose to go down there, why I chose to do something so dangerous as stopping traffic, and what does that mean, and how does that, affect change? And that's where the song came from, because it came from that conversation. Even though my mother is a proud Black woman who is strong and fierce, there's a sense of like respectability that comes from that generation sometimes, and like, I'm not going to shut up and look the other way. And yeah, it just flowed as a conversation. So, you'll see in my lyrics, you have my lyrics, you're going to play some of the song. Until it happens to you, you don't know what you'll do. So it was more so just me trying to get my feelings out. And they just flowed. I wasn't like, I need to write this right now, because every other time I was like, I need to write this right now. It hadn't happened for me.
Yeah. You're spot on the money. Like, when you talk about being in spirit, I think that's such an important thing. There's so many aspects of the creative process, but when it comes to really speaking your truth and being authentic and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and to be strong and to feel all the feelings, I think that's really important. Was there a particular time for both of you that you kind of had your aha moment, or your like, fuck yes, that's what I'm trying to do, moment? What was your breakthrough moment during the writing process of the song?
Oh, wait, during the writing of the song.
Yes. Or I mean, maybe it came afterwards. Maybe you had your aha moment like while you're recording. I don't know.
And what do you mean by aha moment? I mean, I know the literal phrase, but in this aspect.
Right. So, for example, when I wrote "Be Brave," I was in the middle of the woods of nowhere, Connecticut, and I was in spirit, freaking out about moving to DC, and
okay.
"Be Brave" came to me. But my aha moment was realizing, oh, this song is like I'm writing this for the public, but this is like, come on, Emma, it's time to grow the fuck up kind of song. Like this was my time to level up. This is you're either doing this or you want to continue shrinking, and that was my time. Like, nope, this is my blooming opportunity.
Yeah, I think a part of the aha was that like I got to do this song with my sister.
Right.
Like I have to like the revolution and the future is female, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to lead this fight, because I always feel like women of color, especially Black women, are really connected to the divine, and so we're often channeling the divine. And right now the divine is calling us into action,
right? The
and
age of Aquarius.
Yeah. Anastasia got something for you with that one.
We're both Aquarians.
Yes.
Aquariuses. Yeah, and we're in the age.
Of course, the time is now. Of course, the time is now.
Hello. So Aquarians, what's your phrase, Anastasia?
Aquarians united.
That's right. That's right. So we're united, and so it just I think always knowing that we're about change. We've always loved each other's energy in the community and supported one another. And I think this was just one of those things that like fire in our gut that we had to continue the conversation. For me, honestly, I was writing this while I was on the metro coming from downtown, and it was a ghost town. No one was out there. It's COVID, it's downtown. And the words were just slipping through me. And then honestly, I think the recent like digesting everything that happened over the summer and sitting back during the holidays and still seeing these microaggressions happen to Black people, not necessarily with police brutality, but just via TikTok, via conversation, that the second verse came to me, and it was like, wow. Like we're not gonna, or actually the first that became a second that became first verse.
Wow.
Wow. I would say a little bit too, like, because I had to think about that question as well. I feel like this timing of today and this week is kind of my aha for this song, right? Like going back to feeling purpose-filled, like, okay, it is clear we need to raise this vibration. It is clear this message needs to get out there. Like, I don't know if this is bad to say, but I tell people all the time that I make music for myself. Like I don't make my art being like, I wonder if people are gonna like it if I do.
Exactly.
I think any artist who says that they make music for other people are lying. So there we go.
So it's just a bonus for me when other people like it, but feeling like, no, other people need this. So that for me. Yeah.
No, I love that. And they seriously do. You, like I said before, you both have very different approaches to, the music that you make. But I think, to add to what you were saying, Dior, about the future being female, it's, this is what awakening our voices that have been silenced for centuries looks like. It's about that marriage of the sweet and the strong and the outspoken and the tender and the being able to recognize that the magic shows up in many forms and it doesn't always have a penis.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it doesn't always, and because it's not without balance. We need our male counterpart. I'm definitely about that. I'm definitely about balance, but I do feel that we don't have to mute or deflate or eliminate another gender, color, individual. You know what I'm saying? That there's enough room for balance and health and happiness. So yeah.
100%. So the song comes out on 18th of January, which is Martin Luther King Day, which I'm super, super pumped for.
Yes.
Of course, the one month that is the shortest month of the year is given to the Black community in this country, because yes, I'm fascinated about what made you decide to release it on MLK Day, but also, have you had the opportunity to sneak peek it to anybody? Have you had any feedback from people behind the scenes about the impact that what you're doing, what's been your interaction with your fans, your inner community or inner circle?
I think people are digging it. Yeah, the people that have heard it, just between me, Dior, and John, we've just been getting hyped by ourselves, like super excited.
Yeah.
And we've gotten some great responses from people. We just posted that we're even releasing this song yesterday. Which again, with the timing and everything, like Dior said, we originally started working on it like this summer. And again, as any musician artists know, like it's a process. So it just felt right in terms of like, yes, being timely, offering music ahead of the inauguration and all of that. Again, Emma, like we were talking before we went live, like we considered there might be some crazy shit happening on inauguration, but wanted to get the announcement out before the podcast, but then we got the announcement out, then there was maybe a pretend stage coup or a tour of, I don't know what that was, and here we are.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I did sneak it to my parents. They got the sneak peek, and my mother was like, "Yo, she sounds like Erykah Badu," talking about Anastasia's voice. And my father was like, he was chuckling at the rhyme. He was like, "Yo, this is dope. This is it right here." And so that was my feedback, because they're my worst critics. My mother's when she's listening to it, it's like, I'm like, damn, do you like it? Do you like it? Okay. So, it's hard to pull from her. So that right there, I'm good. I got my critics right on board. But yeah. And then Anastasia came up with the date, and I said, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. It's more to what you were saying, Anastasia. Like, I found out just 5 minutes before we went live today, the only other time that the Capitol has been stormed like this was in the War of 1812. So the timing of this is perfect. I think, this is when your voices are needed, our voices are needed as songwriters, as creators, as artivists, as leaders of change. If you could summarize in one sentence about what makes this your life-changing song, knowing full well that you both have extensive catalogs of really, powerful music, what makes this the one?
About to start a revolution.
Yes.
Well, we all want to change the world.
Yes, I love that.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah,
this is very, very, very monumental in this way. I'm going to quickly plug a book.
Right next to you. Oh,
The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Only because of we're talking about this divinity and the spirituality and the channeling, and what makes this my life-changing song is that I feel connected to this divine timing, right? I'm not trying to big up myself, because this isn't about me. This is about the collective. This is about society. And so whatever I can offer to raise that vibration, while previously I've written love songs before, and I'm trying to always write positive songs to raise the vibration. this just is for me next level in terms of that.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I love that. Now, everybody who's watching right now, this is like we're getting a, I can't even do math right now, 11-day early sneak preview of this song. I'm so thankful and grateful to you both for allowing us this opportunity to hear the song tonight. But before we go and sneak peek that, you know, a snippet of verses, I'm gonna, in my very bad American accent, that isn't American at all, but depends what country I'm in. Every New Zealander thinks I sound so American these days, and every American's like, "Where are you from? Are you from Australia?" so in my strange accent, I'm gonna just speak some of the lyrics here, so that you can sort of feel the enormity of what Anastasia and actually I don't have your lyrics here, Dior, but at least a little bit of a taster of what you're about to hear. The first verse is, "Till it happens to you, you won't know what to do. When it happens again, you won't have to pretend. See here the loose ends, my friends, they say, so much more now than yesterday. And yeah, okay, I get it. Is it a limit, a max and all that? Back in the back, react or relax, sorry, a tactic, and I'm just trying to decide which way this time. Prime example, cancel, commit. One more step, all in. Calling your conscience. If we're being honest, ever since this started."
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying, Anastasia, that was like a culmination of a number of verses that people had written for you, or that just poured out of you one day?
Oh no, that just poured out of me one day. The part of like different people is just my vision that like maybe I'm like warping back to this like 90s hip hop vision, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a verse from Dior, I'm gonna get a verse from Chance the Rapper, I'm gonna get a verse from No Name, I'm gonna get a verse from Kendrick, you know.
So if Chance the Rapper and Kendrick are watching this right now, you know what to do, man. Like let's do the remix. We here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's your tribe. It's your tribe.
That just came to me. It was John had started making a beat, and I think it was just the bass line pretty much, and I was just like running away with it. But that's again thanks to my upbringing, my spiritual practice, some good reading. There are many times where I might be having a conversation or just post conversation, my brain's like, whoop, write that down.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. Yeah.
No, I love it. Well, on that note, let's have a listen to a sneaky part of the song. This is Verses by Anastasia Antoinette, featuring Dior Ashley Brown.
Yeah. Say, I'm my brother, sister's keeper. All the power to the people. Since you can't see us as equal, you gon' have to see me regal. Flossing in this periwinkle. Come up off that precious sminkle. That envy adding wrinkles, not a good look to the people. Come on now, let's step aside and share the space for all the rise. My elders waiting, recognize they need to see their joy and pride. Cause most been waiting all their life to see their wrongs be made right. I'm talking about they civil rights to simply be and live my life without this strife. It's a shame you can't see the black and white. And all that matters is the gray. You wanna keep on throwing shade. These ancestors ain't about that play, but we got time today. Pull libation, say their names, I shake.
Till it happens to you, you won't know what to do. When it happens again, you won't have to pretend. See, here's the loose ends, my friends, they say. So much more now than yesterday. And yeah, okay, I get it. Is it a limit? Maxing all that. Back in the back, react or relax. Tactic, and I'm trying to decide which way this time. Prime example, cancel, commit. One more step, all in. Calling your conscience, if we're being honest, ever since they started.
Sounding united voice that we have no intentions of stopping this fight until we have eradicated every single remnant of racism in this country.
The cover speaks so.
And that's it, guys.
Yeah. Woo, woo.
That was all I was allowed to play. The management team will get angry with me otherwise. But my goodness, you guys, it's such an honor and a pleasure to know you. To know that we are in this fight together, that we are, the change starts with us. I learned recently the word crisis in Chinese means both chaos and opportunity.
Okay.
And that's really getting me through what's happening at the moment, is that now is the opportunity for the age of Aquarius, for the women, for the allies, for the activists, for the artivists to stand up and unite and be the leaders of change, bring that positive action and lead with love, but take no shit.
That's right. That's right. Take no shit.
Excellent. Okay, so for both of you, how can we get in touch with you? Obviously, the song was being released in 11 days. How can we get involved? How can we participate? How can we support y'all?
Yeah. Well, follow me at Dior Ashley Brown on Instagram and everything.
Easy.
Yeah. I'm Anastasia Antoinette on Instagram. I'm trying to get off social media, y'all. But
that song on Bandcamp though, where she's gonna tell you.
We got a Bandcamp, and I'll give you those links to put down there. I know that Dior and I want to keep this conversation going. That's been our intention from the start, from this uproar from the summer and everything that happened. It's important, again, the least we can do is put it in your face, right? Because white supremacy and anti-Blackness are in our face every day, and we just let it slide. We look the other way, we laugh it off nervously, and I don't have time for that anymore.
Nope.
So the way that you can connect with us is by connecting with your community and having the conversation. And Dior and I are looking forward to, with you together, just continuing the conversation. We're gonna try to just keep talking, keep listening, keep sharing ideas to make a better world.
I love that. I love that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Thank you both so much. I'm, so happy that, we're able to spread light and empowerment through this medium. And, I look forward to, joining you both in this fight through this year, and knowing that together we really do rise. We can make the difference, and it starts with us. So thank you so much. For everyone listening, of course, take these messages that these two powerhouses have shared with you tonight and do good with them. Have those conversations, those hard conversations with your family, with your friends. White silence is violence. So make sure that you are having those conversations to listen as well as to respond, but really taking the time to listen to one another. In the meantime, be good, be kind, spread love like it's going out of fashion. Of course, if you want to work with me or hear more about what I'm doing, emmagmusic.com, or work with Emma G if you are also interested in learning how to write your own songs that change the world. In the meantime, have an amazing day on purpose, and don't forget, to just fucking keep being awesome.
Thank you, Emma, so much. You're awesome. Thank you.